As humans, we are community oriented, we are group oriented, we like to roll with friends, we like to roll with partners, we like to roll in a pack, we tend to follow the leader, we tend to follow the group. It's just the way it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. It actually has a lot to do with our happiness of fitting in. However, welcome in fam, much love, Trav here. In order to achieve your own goals and be the strongest version of yourself, you have to know when to separate from the group and do your own thing. At times the group's going to drag you down. At times the group doesn't have your interest and has some sort of other interest. At times if you follow the group, you'll never have your own time to work on your own problems, your own goals, and so on. And some people will say, well, you're not surrounding yourself with the right people. When to some extent that's true. It's easier to work out if your friends work out. However, one, your friend's not always going to be there, and that's the big thing. So you have to get used to separating and doing things on your own sometimes, because even if you have people around you, well, that's going to be helpful, but that's not the end all be all, because you're not always going to have people around, and people are still sort of doing their own thing, working on their own stuff. You're going to separate and you're going to have to work on your own goals. For instance, tonight, the group rolled and went out to go get fast food. And instead, I went and worked out, did some stretching and some body weight exercise, some weights. And then the group went and smoked weed. And I worked on my YouTube and on my book and my writing. And then I went to and had dinner in the cafe. So basically, I mean, for me, it was just like, well, in this case, I have a lot of love for the people around me, and I'm happy to work with them, and it's great. But I have my own goals that are different and above and beyond, and trying to hold myself to a higher standard. And it would be nice if I had more people who were working on the same stuff. But a lot of this is solitary. It's a solitary journey. We do share it with people around us, but it's still a solitary journey on Earth. It's shared experience with close people and the group, but we only experience what we experience. So at times you have to separate, like your success. It does hinge a little bit on getting the right people around you so you can do these activities together and have people drag you into the positive activities. But it also hinges on just saying, nah, I'm going to hang back and work on my own thing. No thanks. I'm going to do something different. Even if the whole group's going, I'm going to stay back and do my own thing by my lonesome because I have clarity on what I want to accomplish, and I have clarity on who I want to be, So that's important to think about. One, what do you want to accomplish? Two, who do you want to be? What do you want to accomplish? Well, I think life's a beautiful thing in the universe, and I root for it to spread, and I think humans are the best chance of that, and we have a lot of problems we need to work on, and each individual can only focus on one thing. I choose to focus on the food problem, and how can we have better food so our people can reach a higher level of consciousness? How can we have more food so we can support greater population? How can we have more people integrated in the food system so it runs better and people are more happier and healthier? And then some of the other people can go tackle on the other problems. So for me, it's important to be really immersed in my work and to be writing about it and sharing about it on social media. And that requires me to separate and do my own thing at times. I only have so much time in the day, and I have to live it with the food that I eat and what I choose to do with my free time. And two, who do you want to be? What sort of character do you want to have? What sort of personality? Forget personality. That's something I talked about, different discussion, but what sort of character do you want to have? And that's important because over time, people will tend to follow people for inspiration, motivation, because for the same reason, it makes it easier. If I tell you this, it's going to make it easier for you to say, yeah, what would Tibu do in this situation? I went out last Friday. I'm going to stay in this Friday, and I'm going to work on this project that I've been working on, kind of putting off, right? So what sort of character do you want to have? Me, what sort of character do I want to have? I want to be consistent. I want to be persistent. I want to be a hard worker who makes a difference for others. And it's not too much more than that, but part of being persistent, consistent is discipline and taking the extra time to do the extra workout, eat the extra good food, and take greater care of my health. So I'll slip up at times, and I'm not a perfect person, but I'm at least aiming towards a good goal, I think. So, I mean, there's some things for you to think about. One, what do you want to accomplish? Two, who do you want to be? And three, how do you need, in what ways do you need to step away from the group in order to work on your own stuff and accomplish these things? What situations, because we are social, we crave social interaction, we need to be around people. But in what situations do you need to pass and be solitary? And for you, you may have an opposite problem where there's just not nearly enough people, and you have plenty of time to yourself. You're so lonely, and I think the advantage of that actually is like, lucky to incorporate other people into your work. But the advantage to that is you have plenty of time to work on yourself in that situation. What do you want to do? Or there's no pull to the negative from the group, so you can just kind of do your own thing. Like if you're by yourself, it's hard to start working out every day, but it's easy to continue because there's no temptation pull from others to stop and do other things. There's fewer distractions. You can think more, you can focus more. So there's a plus to that. So think about that. I invite you to share in the comments what you're trying to accomplish, who you want to be, and what ways you're willing to sacrifice and step away from the group in order to do your thing. So if you want more advice, make sure to check out my book, I Wish I Had Told Me Sooner, Life Lessons for Young Men. And I'm working on a new book called The Food Life, and that will probably be out in early 2019. And then at that point, I'm going to make a lot of videos about food and farming and growing food and lifestyle and culture and society. So I really look forward to that. I'm trying to get it out so I can do that. Yeah. So appreciate you. Much love, and look forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments. Talk to you soon.